This is Gareth Southgate, and this is the Three Lions podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Three Lions podcast. My name is Russell Osborne and this is an independent England football supporters podcast. It's Wednesday, 22nd of March. England begin their Euro 2024 campaign tomorrow in Naples. So I've left a damp Stansted airport and landed in the city of Bari, so on the eastern coast of Italy, along with a fair few other England fans with the same idea of getting to the game. So before then, I've got the afternoon to have a mooch about, get some beers, and have something to eat. Something worth mentioning, landing at the airport at Bari, any England fan was taken to one side and filmed head to toe whilst holding your passport. Very strange situation. It's one that I'd seen Liverpool or Manchester City fans experience a while back. Not something that I'd ever experienced following England away in all the years that I've done it. I'm working on the basis that I've got nothing to hide. So, and to be fair, I don't even know what would have happened if I'd have refused to have myself filmed. I don't quite know what will become of it, what sort of records I will go on in Italian police. I'm not quite sure of the legalities of it either, let's be honest. But there wasn't a great deal I could do about it. But that was coming into Bari. Whether people have had the same going into Rome, going into Naples, I don't know. But yeah, the interesting thing that happened when I touched down. There's plenty of England fans all around Bari, all looking to go on a coach organised by Block 109 heading towards Naples tomorrow. So I'll catch up with you then.
So we are, match day morning, interestingly, just about to board the bus, the coach to the ground, and the same police that were at the airport yesterday, the old Carabinieri, have met us at the bus. At the coach pickup point. It's a very strange situation. Not something I've encountered before. I don't know if we're getting an escort out of the city or what. We'll see. So, made it to Naples. The Lion's Den, as some would have it. Escorted all the way from Bari by the local police, the local Carabinieri. All the way. Blue lights, sirens at times, especially coming out of the city where they would just stop everyone and let us go past. I'm guessing for our own safety. I've got to say it feels a little bit extreme. But I've got to say cheers to Paul Dennis for organising it all. But what they've done is they have dumped us down at the port in almost like a holding pen. Loads of Carabinieri everywhere. 35 people on a coach from Bari, and they've parked us up in a penned off area next to a massive cruise liner, and we can't go anywhere, literally, well, until we're told to. It's strange because obviously there's 2,500 other England fans who have come into Naples, can come go as they please, and 30 of us from Bari have felt that we may be some sort of troublemakers. No, I don't know. It's very strange. But anyway, as we came into Naples, we passed Vesuvius, which is pretty big. But we came past the port area as we drove in, and any port area, as you know, can be a bit grimy. So yeah, first impressions. The sun's out. It's a city where looks like there's some work going on, some cranes, but we just don't know what to do at the moment. Everyone's just wandering around. So we've finally made it into the ground on a convoy of coaches being blue lighted through rush hour. You've heard all the stories before, haven't you? The likes of, I think it was Manchester City, Liverpool, Leicester. We've heard them all before, where the coaches will take you round the houses, and it came as no surprise that they took us an extra hour and 20 minutes out of our way. I mean, everyone's got Google Maps on their phone, haven't they? You're fooling no one. But we made it into the stadium, and there we are. But to get through, there was the ticket checks, there was walls of armed police with riot shields, 2 or 3 checks with tickets, pat-downs. It really has been probably the most secure away game that I've ever been to. But into the stadium we are, and then sitting fairly near the front, Napoli written in the stands opposite from me, running track ground. It's an England section of about, I think it's 2,500 glass screens either side, and it's got this sort of mesh roof over it, like girders almost, like which the floodlights hang from. But already in the ground flags are up. Wigan Athletic there. It's a Derby one I've seen. Three Lions Pride are in there. Barnsley flag as well. Plenty more to be hung as the game approaches kick-off.
So now, before kick-off, Gareth has announced his team. Here we go, the first 11 of this European Championships qualifier for Germany. Jordan Pickford in goal, Kyle Walker, Luke Shaw, Declan Rice, John Stones, Harry Maguire, Bukayo Saka, Calvin Phillips, Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham, Jack Grealish. I think it's safe to say there are no real surprises there, but we're pretty much putting out our strongest team straight away. Let's hope this is a team that comes away with all 3 points. We'll wait and see.
VAR. Referees at the monitor. If this is called, we obviously know the situation, who's going to take it, and what happened last time. Referee turns. Oh, here he goes. Walks across the running track. Square. Points. Penalty. Come on. Penalty handball. Harry Kane to break Wayne Rooney's record. Wayne Rooney broke Bobby Charlton's record at Wembley with a penalty. Harry Kane here to break the record for England. Put us 2-0 up. Come on! 2 minutes till half time. On, in we go, in we go. Flag, they've done it 2-0 up. Come on. Absolutely superb. Been one team in it this half. One team by a country mile. Silence this place. Come on. Referee's having an absolute nightmare. We're down to 10 men. Luke Shaw's been sent off. Harry Maguire was clattered, ploughed into. Was down for 30 seconds. John Stone's not aware of what's going on, is surrounding him, is overlooking him. Melee's gone on, and Luke Shaw's been sent off with down to 10 men. The referee has lost the plot here, he's lost control. Yes! Come on! Get in! Oh! We made hard work of that! We made hard work of that! Italy 1, England 2, we've beaten them, finally, in a competitive game. Harry Kane is going to cross the running track, coming as close as he can to the England supporters, applauding us. Well done, sir, well done.
Wow, what a result. 2-1 away victory in Naples. A real game. Real game of two halves. I'll get to that in a minute. But before I do, I just want to mention a couple of things before my voice goes. We were told that the stadium capacity had been reduced to about 48,000. Although it didn't really seem apparent where that reduction was, not that I could see. No real area appeared to be cornered off. What I did notice though was the lower tier appeared to have quite a collection of, I don't know, it might have been school kids or tickets given out to various organisations, possibly like the I don't know, Cubs or Scouts or the equivalent, as they all appeared to be grouped together in like a same sort of uniform. So I'm assuming that they didn't want a stadium with a lot of spare seats, if you get my drift. Now, I'm not one for pre-match light shows, cameras on like a Coldplay gig, but the lights around the running track with the players' names on, that was a clever touch. I don't know how they've done it. I don't even know if it came across on the telly, but just imagine a mass long string of Christmas tree lights, one in each lane of the running track. And these were somehow programmed to light up in a way that showed the Italian players' names and their number. Very clever, beyond all my understanding, to be honest. Also, a nice touch was acknowledging the passing of Gianluca Vialli, who recently died. Was it before Christmas or just after Christmas? There was a moment for him up on the big screen. Both sets of fans applauding, which was good. But back to the game, Italy had pushed and were looking dangerous for the first, 6, 7, 8 minutes until we finally got a foothold, where we won a corner, which Kane had an effort parried by the keeper, and eventually ended up at the feet of Declan Rice, who scored after 12 minutes. And from there, we took the ascendancy, really. Plenty of possession through Grealish and Bellingham. Phillips had an effort just wide. Did Saka have one too, I think, possibly? And then came Harry's moment. Again, another corner, back post, he's gone up, headed it against the defender's arm. They're horrible if they go against you, but in this instance, by the letter of the law, it's handball, isn't it? Penalty. Donnarumma the wrong way, Kane, goal, 54. And you'd imagine this campaign could see him break 60, dare I say it? Who knows? Really could see him getting that. Jack Grealish should have made it 3, put the game right out of sight, shouldn't he? But he put it wide. But basically half-time came at the wrong time, didn't it? Second half, we came out a shadow of the side from the first. Italy gained more possession and eventually scored. The stadium made some noise, in truth, from their end. And then as the half went on, the referee was beginning to make some strange, irrational decisions. In truth, the first half, he wasn't that clever too. But the second half, it's almost like he found a deck of cards to give out. I missed it at the time, but Luke Shaw was apparently booked for not having a ball to throw in. And then 2 minutes later, he was sent off. So we were down to 10 men with 10 or so minutes to go. But we held on, dug deep, came away with a famous victory. We haven't had something like that for a little while. Nothing like a good Italian job, is there? And as fans, top job all round. Whilst we got in early, it would appear that there was a quantity of England fans who were given some rough treatment by a large contingent of riot police. I don't know the full story, only from what I've seen on sort of footage. It's just unnecessary, heavy-handed overseas policing on England fans that you'd hope that questions will be asked of the police there. I doubt it. But that's my view of the game. Here are what some other fans thought of it.
Ben Clark from Needham Market in Suffolk. Thought it would be a dominant first half. Took a little while to get going, but once we got going, I thought we were in control, to be honest, for large parts of the first half. Going 2 goals up in their backyard, obviously, something very impressive and kickstarts our qualifying campaign. Thought Grealish had it, obviously everyone thought it as well, but had a very good chance to make it 3-0 just before half time. But you know, it goes to 2-1 in the second half, and they're knocking on the door, and you think, are we going to live to regret that? But thankfully we've not, and made a few changes and no injuries going into Sunday. So fingers crossed it'll be another win then and a good start.
Gary here from Channel England Football. What a result! First victory in 60 years in Italy. Absolutely buzzing. Atmosphere were amazing. England fans were cracking. Made Naples look quiet. Brilliant result after a 7-hour bus journey. Bring on Ukraine on Sunday.
Yeah, Matt Johnson, old sage of Cheshire. Yeah, it's fantastic win. Obviously, 60 odd years since we last won in Italy. First half was one of the best performances I can remember seeing England, especially away from home at another top nation. Controlled the game and really took it to Italy. Should have got the third goal just before half time with a Grealish chance, but didn't take it. And then obviously the second half was more disappointing. We dug in after 2-1, the red card as well. We dug in, got the job done. England fans were class. Good day out of the office. 3 points on the board, and off we go.
Well, it's Sunday. It's damp. Back in England, but I'm on my way to Wembley. It's England against Ukraine. And do you know what? I've had some thoughts about Ukraine. Despite the fact that they haven't played together for, 5-6 months, they are still a force to be reckoned with. The players they've got. Obviously, there is the background to it all. They very much want to have a positive impact on things back home. So I don't think this is going to be as straightforward as we may anticipate it to be, or some people may anticipate it to be. So, and we all know how good Ukraine had been previously. They've got some quality players. So I think we're going to be in for an entertaining game. Obviously, I hope that we come out on top and we can go through this period with 6 points. But we shall, it remains to be seen. I'm looking forward to it. So a couple of beers in central London, we find ourselves making our way to Wembley. Just I'm about to get onto the train. The team has been announced. Jordan Pickford in goal, Cole Walker, Ben Chilwell, Declan Rice, John Stones, Harry Maguire, Bukayo Saka, Jordan Henderson, Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham, and James Maddison. So a few changes from the team that played in Naples the other night. But there was also talk, I've just seen, that Phil Foden has gone home, or has gone into hospital with, gone to have his appendix taken out, which is a little procedure. It's all fine these days now. But after just having a short period in Naples where he got subbed on and then subbed off, he's gone to have his appendix out. So, all the best to him. But, just looking at the team, Ben Chilwell is a change, Jordan Henderson is a change, and James Maddison is a change. So I think that's 3 changes from the other night as we make our way towards Wembley.
Code 4.
So, as you heard, I thought the game was going to be closer than it eventually turned out to be. Whilst I was walking to the station, I started remembering those Ukraine teams and players of the past. You remember Shevchenko, Rebrov, there was Luzhniki as well. Luzhniki, that was the stadium, wasn't it? Luzhny, he played for Arsenal. And as the current players, they've now got Zinchenko, Mudryk as well. They've been to a World Cup. They've been to numerous European championships. But on this occasion, I think those thoughts got the better of me. Anyway, it's my pleasure to welcome back to the podcast Manchester City and England fan Matt Astbury to go back over it and the international window in general. Matt, hello, mate.
Hi, Russell. How are you, mate?
Yeah, all good, thank you. Voice is just about holding out.
Yeah, don't be after yesterday, a bit of singing and that, you do after the day recovering.
Well, yeah, I mean, to be honest, I tried to do a bit of singing yesterday and sort of not many people were that interested, really. But we'll maybe come on to the Wembley atmosphere, as it were, in a bit. Yeah, Ukraine at home got the job done, or the international window as well. 6 points out of possible 6. Job done, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better start. I think after the World Cup, there was a bit of nervousness. Would England carry on that momentum from the France game? Because we walked away, well, I certainly walked away with like a lot of positives despite losing. And it seems like the positive vibe around that England camp and Gareth Southgate has just gone up a level. I mean, in the build-up to both games, all the players on media duty were just saying how great it was that he extended his deal. And yeah, it just seems like, this camp will have been more or less together now for 2 tournaments. They're preparing for a third one. Fingers crossed they qualify. I mean, they put themselves in a great position. And after those 2 performances, I know it's early to say in this whole cycle, but I'm getting excited for next summer already.
You're not on the verge of booking tickets, are you, to Germany?
No, but I mean, I was thinking quite a bit about going to Berlin, but but I think 2 wins from 2, and then the next one's Malta and North Macedonia. North Macedonia, no mugs, but we've got them at home, so that should be a routine. But it also depends on what condition the players will be in going into that next break, because they're not doing the end of what has been a congested calendar with the World Cup and everything, but. Yeah, you can't beat 2 wins from 2 and 2 great performances to back it up.
Yeah, no, too right. I mean, with those 2 games coming up, Malta and North Macedonia, you would think that it's an opportunity to maybe just blood a few fresher faces, newer faces to come in. And it could be argued that the game against Ukraine, we done that with James Maddison finally getting I see someone earlier called it a second debut. He's finally got his second cap. I think he could be one for the future. He's certainly done himself no harm in that game, did he?
No, he didn't. I mean, you talk about the second debut sort of thing. I mean, I think that the last time he played for England was the 1000th international against Montenegro, which seems like a lifetime ago. That's how long it's been. But yeah, he put in a good performance. And as you said, I was very surprised Tony didn't start on Sunday against Ukraine. I thought he was going to be a shoo-in. As soon as he was called up, I thought Italy obviously start with Kane, and then but at the moment you can't really drop Harry Kane, can you? No. Otherwise, it's just he got another goal on Sunday, so. Yeah, but as you said, I would quite like to see some newer faces. I think Maddison and Tony should get a proper run in those June games. But yeah, Maddison gave a great account himself, and he seems to now be going quietly about his business on the pitch. I can remember when we played Czech Republic and Bulgaria back-to-back away games, and I'm pretty sure he was called up to that squad, but then he pulled out through injury, and then there was all the stuff of him being spotted in a casino and that back in England while England were playing. So it seems to me that he's matured a lot. Maybe him staying away from not being called up by England for quite a while has done him a world of good. because some young players take to it well, some players don't. And yeah, I think now, because obviously he's the main man at Leicester as well, I think that's given him more responsibility. It's like shown that he can be a crucial player. And I really do hope he has no major injuries surrounding England games and surrounding future tournaments, because he's a really good talent. And yeah, Sunday couldn't have gone any better for him.
Yeah, no, he made some great probing runs, and yeah, he just enjoyed himself. You mentioned Ivan Toney. He came on, I think he probably came on with about 10 minutes to go, so a 10 and a bit of injury time. He was making himself known, but didn't really get a proper sniff of an opportunity. You just got to hope that whatever the result of his betting situation is involved in doesn't haunt him going forward with England.
Yeah, but already it doesn't seem to be, especially when he's been playing for Brentford. I mean, as you said, he came on for 10 or so minutes and was putting himself about, but I can't really recall him touching the ball. I don't seem to remember him getting the ball at all. But as you said, yeah, the better thing is the dark cloud that hangs over him, but it doesn't seem to be affecting him. I mean, he's still scoring freely for Brentford, and I think as long as he just sticks to his job on the pitch, it shouldn't be a problem. But I would like to see Toney play a lot more, but it's just how you factor him into a team, because I presume you'd want to be that focal point in the centre, but that's occupied by Kane. So Southgate's got to try and find a way to factor that in. It's also the man either side of Kane. I don't see how Toney gets into that front three at the moment. That's the problem. So hopefully we do get to see more of it, but it gives another string to our bow, because he's a different kind of striker. And also whenever there's dreaded penalties or whatever, he can put them away in his sleep. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, exciting, but I think just for a lot of England fans, they're just glad to finally see him get the reward for how well he's been playing.
Yeah, he was England's, I believe he was the 1,272nd player to play for England, I think. So, well done to him. He's finally got his international cap. He's come in a competitive game, so it means he can't go anywhere else. Let's say he replaced Kane. Kane is Harry Kane. Not only did he break the record in Italy, break Wayne Rooney's goal scoring record in Italy, he added to it against Ukraine with a almost like a little tap in. He was there at the right place at the right time, wasn't he? Which is what Harry Kane does to put us 1-0 ahead.
Yeah, but that's what he's so good at. I mean, I think maybe the reason why he's flourished this international break is because it's probably just a nice break from the chaos that is Tottenham Hotspur at the moment. You do forget with the records, like how long he's been playing in that England team. I think I saw someone on Twitter earlier, like post all his England goals, and you go that far back. I mean, I do like, obviously with us playing more or less similar teams in each qualifying period, and that so it all sort of merges into one, and it's just crazy. He's just always been there, and some of the goals as well. Even though it's right place, right time, it's the technique to finish it. I mean, one that automatically springs to mind was Scotland away in the World Cup qualifiers of 2018 when he scored that last minute equaliser. I mean, it was a lofted ball into the box, and for someone of his height to get to pull off the acrobatic finish he did, like leaping in the air and poking it in, it takes a special kind of talent. And, he's just recorded tumbling, and it's so funny coming from. He's come a long way since 2016 when he was taking corners. That's the thing. Like I can remember every time watching that tournament when England were playing, he was taking corners, and everyone was just going, "What's he doing? He's a striker. He should be taking the corners." So, yeah, I think he has become the face of this England team now, and to see him break the records and just see how much it meant to him as well was great to see. I mean, during the presentation, he had all his family come on to go with him with the boot. I mean, I think his two daughters came out as his mascots for the Ukraine game, and they had Daddy on the back of their shirts. And yeah, it's just great. He is our talisman, and it is. It comes up with his club form as well. But it will be a real shame if he doesn't get at least one winners medal. And I think the whole squad will want him to as well. After the Italy game when he broke the record, there was all the photos of him with the frame, celebrating his record, and all the squad were delighted and proud of him. So that, I think that will have worked in our favour and brought them even more together, going, look, Kane is delivering. Let's all pull together and let's go and get a trophy and get something that he deserves, really.
Yeah. Well, thankfully he's not taking corners anymore. Do you know what I'm thinking? I want to say 2015, Lithuania at home. Did he come on as a sub and scored within a few minutes? I might be wrong. Someone will pick me up on that one, but I'm pretty sure that might have been his first one. But someone else who's scoring for fun, who scored 3 minutes later, Bukayo Saka. He's had a great season, a great couple of games as well. He provided both corners in Italy that we scored from. He teamed up with Harry Kane for Harry Kane's goal. He put the cross in. And then he scored a worldie, really, didn't he, for the second goal?
Yeah, fantastic effort from Saka. But yeah, he's another one who has come into his own. Again, it's another example of that England bounce back story like Kane, where obviously just 2 years ago, it was when he missed that penalty against Italy. And you thought, how is Saka, a person of his very young age, going to bounce back from something as big as that? And obviously all the reaction, all the fallout from it. And he has just gone from strength to strength. For Arsenal, his club, he's been immense. And then now for England, I think most England fans now would say, when you're making that team sheet, your first two names on there are Kane and Saka. And as we were talking about the Tony thing earlier, I don't know how anyone takes him out of that team unless Saka is being rested or is injured. I don't know, but he has gone on to another level, and that goal yesterday against Ukraine just summed it all up. It was just, he is really flourished. It seems like Southgate has now found the formula at that in terms of England's attacking options of getting the most out of Saka. And also, when I was reading back on the games and that, and also looking at his position and that, one thing he does do is that he's always so high down the flanks. Therefore, the opposition fullbacks will struggle, and also he's good with his feet as well. So he's got everything to make a perfect attacking player out wide. So yeah, that effort, that goal yesterday capped off what has been a great international break and has added to what has been a breakout season for him. And he should be winning awards come May for his performances. So yeah, and also because he's that young, he's going to be around for a good 10, 15 more years. So yeah, it's Saka's going to be the next one to step up in terms of, I think, the face of England sort of thing once Kane retires, I reckon.
Yeah, no, another 10, 15 years of that smile. He's such a nice lad, Bukayo Saka. Let's just touch on Ukraine. From their support, they made a bit of noise. I don't know what they were singing about, but I can naturally assume what some of their songs were aimed at. But sadly, on the pitch side of things, they didn't really prove as much as a threat as I thought they might have.
No, as you said,
that's probably credit to us as well.
Yeah, before the game and that, when we were walking to the ground, it was just great to see so many Ukraine fans enjoying themselves and things like that. When I was walking down, there's a whole group of them having a bit of a sing-song on the walk to the stadium. We all gave them high fives and everything. So yeah, it was just lovely to see. And also, I've been saying to people after the game, I just felt bad beating them so convincingly like that. It's just this is just a bit harsh, but yeah, I think it's a combination of factors. As you discussed on your preview podcast, the management team isn't fully settled. The manager is managing about 10,001 jobs. So how can you be fully focused on international football if you've got club teams and that to sort out? And also, just all their disruptions have just been the whole preparation's been disrupted. I mean, a few of the players who have come from Ukraine itself will have had a long journey just over to England with there being no direct flight. So that certainly doesn't help. But I think as well with Ukraine, I think they'll be happy to have got us out the way pretty early on, because I think they'll be able to beat the likes of Malta, and North Macedonia will be a tough game, but I think Ukraine have the good enough technical ability to beat them. And obviously Italy are very hot and cold, so anything can happen. But yeah, it was a shame, but I think it was just more of an occasion to see, the Ukraine fans enjoying themselves, and seeing that full away end as well was great to see. I mean, I took a photo of it during their anthem when they all put their Ukraine flags up. It was some sight, and I don't think the result really mattered to them. They're all having a great time, even at 2-0 down. They were bouncing around and things like that. So yeah, at the end of the day, it was a nice event, nice occasion. And it was just a pity the players really couldn't deliver, because I don't really remember any clear Ukraine chances really.
No, I don't think Pickford had a great deal to do. That's the first time I've seen Mudryk in full flight, but I think at the couple of runs he made, he was caught offside, I think, really. But yeah, we'll see how they go forwards in the group. Will be interesting, and wish them all the best. Obviously, that if they can, as long as they don't come above us, put it that way.
yeah.
But I mean, we've gone from Ukraine, and they're saying they made some noise in the stands, and as I said, it looked great with putting their flags up. But from a Wembley, from an England point of view, the game probably didn't help the fact that it was done and dusted by half time. And we probably should be used to it now, all the Mexican waves and paper aeroplanes, but it doesn't feel like a football match, does it, really, to me?
I don't know what you mean, but I think it's just because we've been so fortunate to have experienced the Euros in our home stadium. That's the thing. I think that's going to be very tough to beat. And I think, I've always said this about England. There's always a different vibe in terms of crowd noise and things like that. So when it's a home qualifier or a friendly, you get a lot more families go. So the atmosphere ain't as hostile sort of thing. While obviously when you go away, it's a lot more different, because it's, it's basically like the hardcore that go and watch England away and things like that. The atmosphere was pretty weird. I don't know if that has something to do with the Sunday 5:00 kickoff. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's just this sort of, now England are doing regularly really well. I don't think there's there's just an expectation for that to happen, which we've seen creep in at some club teams, for example. I don't know. I mean, I was in Block 109, and that's the quietest it's been for quite a while, in my opinion. Obviously, there's a few songs going around and that, but it's not like it's been the past few games or so. But maybe, I don't know. It always rears its head, the Wembley debate, but we all know why England is still having to play there. I don't know. I can't really put a finger on it, but at the end of the day, we won on the pitch, so that's what I'm more concerned about. I'm not concerned about atmospheres and that. When it comes to the big games against the big teams, the atmosphere does usually ratchet up a bit. But yeah, it was just, as I say, it was just more of like an occasion rather than, we've got to go and beat these, got to batter them sort of thing. There's not even any bad blood between England and Ukraine either.
No.
On a footballing sense. So it's like there's no need to, get all agitated about it. I mean, I expect when we play Italy at home in, I think it's like October or November time, I expect the atmosphere to be a lot more different, and in terms of because of what's happened in the past against Italy. So yeah, it was weird, but again, I think a lot of people are just trying to find things to nitpick at because they can't have a go at the football team anymore.
You might be right. And perhaps I'm one of those. I don't know. But be interesting actually. I'm sure that the Italy game will be at Wembley, but with North Macedonia being at Old Trafford, it'd be interesting maybe just to compare the two. Wembley and a full Wembley and a full Old Trafford. There's not a great deal in capacities there. Maybe the atmosphere might be, I don't know, just to compare it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, when we played Hungary at Wolves last year. I thought the atmosphere there was really good, but again, that's because most of the England away supporters were, we're all in that one stand, which is just one steep bank.
Yeah.
So Old Trafford's a bit like that. I mean, my ticket's in the Stretford end, so I'm going to be like, in the standing area. But it will be interesting. But as I said, I think it's just, people are going, we've got to find something to be negative about.
Well, okay, we'll speak about North Macedonia. We'll see how that all comes out when it comes around. But yeah, just your thoughts on the Italy game as well before. No, you didn't get to go out there, unfortunately, but watching it on the telly or wherever you saw it.
Yeah, well, I'm watching the TV at home, and I've got to say that first half is one of the best first halves I've seen England play. I mean, we were all over them. The pressing was great. I mean, I think Italy were a bit shocked from what happened. For what happened from the first whistle, they were just going, "Oh God, how do we cope with this?" And rewarded for 2 goals, and England were in control. Obviously, second half was a bit mixed, it was a bit so-so. We dropped off quite a bit. I don't know if because Southgate opted for game control rather than get a third or fourth. I mean, if Jack Grealish scored that third, I think Southgate would have then started rotating people and things like that. And it sort of descended into a bit of chaos, like as it usually does against Italy. People were getting booked, then they weren't booked, and then it was just all getting confusing. Like the Kyle Walker thing, I don't know if you heard about that, but I thought he got booked twice, should be sent off, but he didn't.
Oh, really? No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he got booked, and the graphic came on the screen saying yellow card, Kyle Walker. Then he got booked again, and it came up with the graphic. And I was watching the game with a few mates, and we go, Kyle Walker's sent off, isn't he? This doesn't make any sense. And then, it's all a bit chaotic. Then Italy players were starting to go down at every other tackle, and then they score. Then once they scored, I was like, "Oh, don't throw this away! Don't. We've done so well to get to this position." But I think that win on Wednesday was big. It's got like the monkey off our back sort of thing in terms of beating Italy away from home, and I think that performance was a real marker in terms of England aren't here to mess around. They want to smash this qualifying campaign, and then come tournament time, they'll be ready and they'll be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I reckon that was probably the best away result since we beat Spain 3-2 in Seville, I think it was. I didn't go to that one, but I think it's probably up there with a performance like that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, that Spain result was an amazing 90 minutes of football, but that Italy was just as good. I mean, as we said, that in football, obviously after the game before as well at San Siro, where England were awful. That game was horrible to watch. And it seemed like all the wheels were coming off, and it was just like, we've got to play Italy again, this time for Euro qualifying, even though the top 2 teams go through anyway. But it does help when you get to play established nations such as that in qualifying, because you can sort of see where you're at. And I think that performance on Thursday would have put a few doubts at ease in Southgate's mind in terms of what this team can achieve, what this team can do.
We're on the up. Matt, pleasure as always to have you on board. No doubt we'll speak again at some time.
Yes, no worries. Cheers for having me on, Russell. It's been a pleasure.
Hi, Russell. Gary here from Channel England Football. 2 wins from 2. What can we say? Exactly what we needed. And it's basically sealed our place in the Euros, hasn't it? 2 of the toughest teams, 2 wins. It was a good day at Ukraine. Shame about the atmosphere. Let it down a little bit. I think people were just tired, really, from the Italy fixture. But yeah, it was a good performance in the end. Good to see Saka get on the score sheet. Good to see Ivan Toney come on as well and Maddison have a game. So yeah, all in all, very good, positive international break for England.
Hello, I'm Trevor from Norwich, and I travelled down to London yesterday with my son-in-law and some friends from work. We had an enjoyable day out. Good to meet up with friends down there and see England get another victory in their qualification for the Euros. I was so pleased to see James Maddison start the game and play most of it. I prefer to see him there with Jack Grealish ready to bring on when necessary. Yes, a good day was had by everybody and another good result.
My thanks, as always, go to Matt there. No doubt we'll hear from him again at some point on the podcast. Now, let's just have a look at some of the other results in Group C over this international break. Whilst we were beating Italy, North Macedonia beat Malta 2-1. And on the same day we played Ukraine, Italy won 2-0 away to Malta. It's obviously incredibly early days, but as the group stands at the moment, we are top of it with 6 points. Italy second with 3. North Macedonia third. They're also on 3 points, but they've only played once. As have Ukraine, who are on 0 points and in 4th place. And Malta, they're already looking likely for the wooden spoon. Bottom with no points, having played twice. Next up in qualifying, Friday the 16th of June, we play Malta away on the same night North Macedonia host Ukraine. Then Monday the 19th of June, we are at Old Trafford to play North Macedonia, whilst Ukraine entertain Malta. Now, because we're a 5-team group, Italy don't have any qualifiers in June, as they're involved in the Nations League finals, which are being played at the same time, along with Croatia, Spain and the Netherlands. So another 2 wins there would put us in complete control of the group. I'm sure you'll agree. But some interesting results from some other games across the groups. There was a surprising 3-2 win for Kazakhstan against Denmark. Scotland left it late to beat Cyprus. France beat neighbours, the Dutch, 4-0, although it would appear a flu virus swept through the Dutch team. Iceland put 7 past Liechtenstein. Portugal put 6 past Luxembourg. Whilst I was scrolling through some of those results, I was looking for Germany. I was thinking, well, how did Germany get on? Of course, Germany hosting the Euros. They don't need to qualify for it. So maybe you've made the same mistake as me. And of course, there were a few other England teams playing during this international window. The under-21s, they played at Leicester against France. They won 4-0. Well done to them. Emil Smith-Rowe, Noni Madueke, Curtis Jones and Jacob Ramsey on the score sheet there. This after following Balogun withdrew days after being selected. He was then seen in America watching the Orlando Magic basketball team. He's going to eventually play for the Yanks, isn't he? But of course, the under-21s, they also play again on Tuesday, the 28th of March, home to Croatia. That game being played at Fulham. It's a game I'm planning to go to, another ground to tick off. And the under-20s beat America 4-2 in a match over in southern Spain. I have to be honest, I don't know a huge amount about that one, but well done to them. Thank you as always for listening. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope I gave a little insight into an England away game. I'll be back very soon with another episode, and as soon as the men's international window closes, the women's one opens. Our Lionesses are in action very soon against Australia and Brazil, and I'll be having a preview episode for that one coming your way very soon. Stay subscribed, you won't miss it. So until then, take care of yourselves. Cheers.